Morning, our beloved SS1 students, and welcome once again to Beryl e-learning. Last week we started the topic statistics, and we looked at the meaning of statistics and the various methods of data presentation. We say statistics is the branch of science that is concerned with collecting, organizing, presenting, and analyzing data for a given task. And we also looked at the different methods of data presentation. We looked at the bar chart. So we talked about the frequency distribution table, use of bar charts, pie charts, histogram, and all of that, and the frequency polygon. Today we will continue from where we stopped. We started with the frequency table and the bar chart. Today we continue from where we stopped under bar chart. I gave us a definition of a bar chart. We said that it's a rectangular bar. We have an example on the board. The bar chart below shows the result of a spelling test. We have a bar chart showing number of students and their marks in a spelling test. We have to answer the questions that follow. But before we answer these questions, let me remind us what we did last week about what we said about the bar chart. I said for the bar chart, the bar should be rectangular in shape. Their width should be the same, meaning that this width should be the same with this and all of that. All the width of the bars should be the same. Also, the spaces in between should be equal. As from here, this space here should be equal to this, and so on and so forth. Okay, we have to answer the question that follows. How many students scored 0 in the test? How many students scored 0 in the test? Looking at our bar, we have those that scored 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, under 0, we check the bar. And we can see that it corresponds to 2. Where we have a number of students, our bar corresponds to 2. That means our bar has a length of 2. And so we have 2 students scoring 0. So we say 2 students scored 0. 2 students scored 0. Now, what was the range of marks? What was the range of marks? You can see that the range of marks, the marks ranges from 0 to 5. The marks ranges from 0 to 5. So we say 0 to 5. Now, when you did measures of central tendency in your junior scholars, we talked about mean, median, and mode. And I remember we also talked about range. Where we say range refers to the difference between the highest and the lowest value. The difference between the highest and the lowest value. So the range of this is 5 minus 0, which is 5. But then we asked what was the range of marks. So the range of marks here is between 0 and 5. That's from 0 to 5. So that is that. How many students took the test? How many students took the test? How do we know the number of students that took the test? We count the bars. That's the length of the bars. We can see from the students, number of students that has 0, we have 2 because the length of the bar is 2. We have 2 plus number of students that had 1. You can see this bar falls in between 4 and 6. So we have 5. 2 plus 5. Then for number of students that had 2, you can see this bar here. It corresponds to 10 students. So we have plus 10. Then number of students that had 3. You can see the length of this bar is in between 8 and 9. So this is, in between 8 and 10. So we have this to be 9. 9. Then number of students that had 4. You see the bar here for 4. We have 0, 1, 2, 3. See, for 3 we say it's 9. Therefore 4 corresponds to 8. 4 corresponds to 8 students. So you have plus 8. Then 5. 5 corresponds to 6 students. You have plus 6. So we add 2 plus 5, we have 7. 7 plus 10, we have 17. 17 plus 9, we have 26. 26 plus 8, we have 34. and 34 plus 6, we have 40 students. 2 plus 5, we have 7. 7 plus 10 is 17. 17 plus 9, 26. 26 plus 8, 34. 34 plus 6, 40. So we have 40 students that wrote the test. D. What was the mode? What was the mode? We said earlier on that the mode refers to the highest occurring number or the most frequent occurring number. But for this bar chart, the longest bar is the mode. We have the longest bar to be 2. So the mode is 2 because 10 students scored 2. Since the longest bar is 2 and 2 represents the longest bar, and from what we have here, 10 students scored 2. So the mode is 2. Now, what was the median? What was the median? We said that median refers to the middle number when a given data value is being arranged in order of size. We say median refers to the middle number when the data values or when the scores or marks are arranged in order of size. And we have established that there are 40 students that wrote the spelling test. And the middle of 40 lies between the 20th and the 21st student. Between the 20th and the 21st student. That's where the middle number lies. If you have 40 students, so the middle number is between 20 and 21. So how do we get the median now? We say we have 40 students. Okay, now from our length of score, we got a length of score. We say 2 people had 0, 2 people had 0, 5 had 1, 10 had 2, and so on and so forth. From where we have our 40 students, how do we get our 20th and 21st students? 2 plus 5 is 7, 7 plus 10 is 17, 17 plus, okay, this is not arranged in order of size. We first arrange our values in order of size. Bar, we are told that 2 students had 0. For what we have here, we have 0, this is max, and this is, let's call it frequency. 2 people had 0, 1 we have 5 people, 2 had 10, 3 had 9, 4 had 8, and 5 had 6. Okay, now we say that the mean refers to the in between the 20th and the 21st student. How do we know the 20th and the 21st student? Now we add this to the point where we get 20 and 21. 2 plus 5 we have 7. 7 plus 10 we have 17. And 17 plus 9 we have 26. It's at this point where we have the 20 and the 21st. Because from 17 here we have 26. So the 20 and the 21st students are 3, had 3 marks. The 20 and the 21st student had 3 marks. Take it again. 2 plus 5 is 7, 7 plus 10 is 17. The 17th student had 2. Now from 17 we have 26. In between 17 we get to 26 now, meaning that the 20th and the 21st students came under this point. So they both had 3 marks. So a median will be 3 plus 3 over 2. That's 6 over 3, which is 2. That means our median is 2. That means our median is 2. Let's take a brief summary again from the beginning. The bar chart below shows the result of a spelling test, and we are given the bar ranging from the number of students, on the vertical axis and the marks on the horizontal axis. The marks range from 0 mark to 5, and we are using these bars to represent the number of students. And we are told that 2 students had 0 from what we have on the bar. 5 students scored 1, 10 students scored 2, 9 students scored 3, 8 students scored 4, and 6 students scored 5. Now we have to use it to answer the questions that follow. How many students scored 0? You check our rectangular bar that represents 0. We see that this rectangular bar is assumed to be of length 2 because it falls under 2 for number of students. So we have that 2 students scored 0 marks in the test. 2 students scored 0 marks. The next question, what was the range of marks? What was the range of marks? And we said that range refers to the difference between the highest value and the smallest value. And we have the highest value to be 5, the highest mark to be 5, and the lowest is 0. So 5 minus 0 is 5, that's the range. So we can say that our range of marks is now from 0 to 5 marks. Now, how many students took the test? How many students took the test? From our rectangular bar, we calculate. We have 2 students having 0 mark in the test, 5 had 1, 10 had 2, 9 had 3, 8 had 4, and 6 had 5. We add all this to get 40 students. We say 2 plus 5 is 7, 7 plus 10 is 17, 17 plus 9 is 26, 26 plus 8 is 34, and 34 plus 6 we have 40 students. So 40 students wrote the test. Now, what is the mode? To find the mode, we say the mode refers to the highest occurring number or the most frequently occurring number. But for a bar chart, the longest bar represents our mode. You can see that the longest bar falls under 2, and 10 students had 2 because this is the longest bar, and it falls under 10. So 10 students had 2. So the mode is 2. The mode is 2. The last question, what was the median? And I said the median of a given frequency distribution is the middle number when the data values are arranged in order of size. This order of size might be either ascending or descending order. Now, how do this a frequency distribution table? How do we arrange this order of size? I now prepare this table. We have our max and we have our frequency. I said since there are 40 students, the median is 20 and 21. Yes, I remember you must have done this in your junior secondary that if you have an odd number, say 39 students, at this point the median will be 20, just the 20th student, because you have an odd number. Whenever we have an even number, we have 2 medians. What we do is we find the mean of that's the average, the mean of the 2 medians to get our median, which is the same thing. But here we are having an even number. So our 2 middle numbers are 20 and 21. If we have an odd number, we have just one middle number. But since we have an even number of 40, our middle numbers will be 2, 20 and 21. So the 20 and the 21st student, we now check their scores, their marks. That's why I prepared this table. 0 mark, we have 2 students. 2 plus 5 is 7. 7 plus 10 is 17. At this point, the 17 students scored 2. The 17 students scored 2. From 17 plus 9, we have 26. This is where 20 and 21 falls under. Because after 17, we have 26. And as well, they both got 3. They both had 3 marks in the test. So our median will now be the mean or the average of these 2 numbers. 3 plus 3 all over 2. 3 plus 3 is 6 all over 2. Sorry, all over 2. Then we have our median to be 3. So our median is 3. 6 all over 2, which is 3, then our median is 3. Okay, now we look at the pie chart. So a pie chart is a circle divided into sectors whose angles are proportional to the frequency of their items. The pie chart is a circle divided into sectors whose angles are proportional to the frequency of the items. I told about the sector. If you say a sector of a circle is the region or area of a circle that is bounded by an arc and 2 radii. We have an example of a pie chart on the board. We see it's a circle graph. You can call it a circle graph. Another name for pie chart is a circle graph. We have this divided into sectors. This is the center of the circle, and we have 2 radii. So this region of the circle is a sector, this is a sector, and this is a sector. That's why we say a pie chart is divided into sectors. And this, the angles correspond to the frequency of the items. The angles correspond to the frequency of the items. For instance, we have a question on the board. In a secondary school in Sierra Leone, a census taken regarding the various ethnic groups gives the following results. Now look at the number of ethnic groups we have. Let's use one, for instance. We have Creole, we have 200 people. For us to get this angle of this sector, we divide this by the total number of people we have. have here and multiply by 360 because the circle makes up 360 degrees. We divide it by the total number of students we have here and we multiply by 360. Whatever we get will now give us an angle for Creole. So for Creole here we have 200 people. For Fula is a language, we have 50 people. For Limba, we have 90. For Mende, we have 100. For Sus, we have 60. Temne, we have 80. Is that all? And there's others too. Others is 140. Others, we have 140 students. First, we sum our frequency. We sum our total number of people. We sum this total number of people. This gives us 250. That's 200 plus 50 gives us 250. All of these to get a total number of people in that school. 200 plus 50 is 250. Plus 90 we have 340. Plus 100 we have 440. Plus 60 we have 500. 580 and 720. So our total is 720. Let's take it again. This is 250, 340, 440, 500, 580 and 720. So we have a total of 720 people. Now the angle of sector. For us to get the angle of sector for Creole, what we do is we say 200 all over 720 times 360 degrees. The angle of sector for Creole is, we have 200 people for Creole, all over the total number, which is 720, and we multiply by 360. So whatever angle we get is the angle of sector for Creole. So we cancel out 0, we cancel 0. 36 here is 1, here is 2. 2 here is, okay, let's take it gradually. We now have 200 divided by 2. That's equal to 100 degrees. So the angle of sector for Creole is 100 degrees. 100 degrees. Now for Fula, we have 50 all over 720 times 360 degrees. 50 all over total number of students, then times 360 degrees. We have, how do we cancel? Okay, here and here we go. Here is 1, we have 2. 50 all over 2 is left. 50 over 2, that's 25 degrees. So the angle of sector for Fula is 25 degrees. For Limba, we have 90 all over 720 times 360. 0. 0 will cancel 0. Here is 1. We have 2. 90 all over 2. We have 45 degrees. So the angle of sector for Limba, we have 45 degrees. For Mende, we have 100 all over 720 times 360. We have, we cancel this. Here is 1, 2. We have 100 all over 2, 50 degrees. We have Susu, 60 all over 720 times 360. 0, we cancel 0. Okay. 6 here is 1, 6 here is 12. We have 360 all over 12 equals 30 degrees. Then we have 10. We have 80 all over 720 times 360. 0 will cancel 0. Here is 1. Here is 2. We have 80 divided by 2 and give us 40 degrees. For others, we have 140 all over 720 times 360. 0 will cancel 0. Here is 1 and 2. We have 140 over 2, that's 70 degrees. We have 70 degrees. Let's go over it again. We say in secondary school in Sierra Leone, a census is taken regarding the various ethnic groups given, in the secondary school in Sierra Leone, a census taken regarding the various ethnic groups gives the following results. We have about, we have others which is not added, 140. We have the following ethnic groups. We have Crowley, we have Fula, we have Limba, we have Mende, Susu, Temne, and others, and a number of people that belong to the following ethnic groups. For Crowley, we have 200 people. How do we get the angle of sector? We say, since we have added the total number of people in that school to be 720, we have 200 all over the total number of people in that school, then multiply by 360. A circle makes up 360 degrees, so we multiply by 360 degrees. At this point, we cancel out 0, we cancel 0. 36 here is 1. Into 72, we have 2. We are left with 200 divided by 2. And that will give us 100 degrees. So the angle of sector for Crowley is 100 degrees. For Fula, we have 50. So we divide 50 all over the total number of 720 multiplied by 360 degrees. 0 will cancel 0. 36 here is 1. Here is 2. We are left with 50 over 2, which is 25 degrees. So the angle of sector for Fula is 25 degrees. For Limba, we have 90 people. So we have 90 all over total number of 720 multiplied by 360. 0 will cancel 0. 36 here is 1. Here is 2. So we are left with 90 all over 2, which is 45 degrees. For Mende, we have 100 people. So we have 100 all over total number of 720 multiplied by 360. 0 will cancel 0. 36 here is 1. Into 72 we have 2. 100 divided by 2 give us 50 degrees. For Susu we have 60. So we have 60 all over 720 times 360. 0 will cancel 0. 6 into itself is 1. Into 72 we have 12. We have 360 divided by 12 and we get 30 degrees. So the angle of sector for Susu is 30 degrees. For Temne, we have 80 all over 720 times 360. 0 will cancel 0. 36 here is 1. Into 72 we have 2. We are left with 80 divided by 2, which is 40 degrees. Then others, we have 140. 140 divided by 720 multiplied by 360. 0 will cancel 0. 36 here is 1. Here is 72. We are left with 140 divided by 2, which is 70 degrees. So the angle of sector for others is 70 degrees. Now, we can add our angle of sectors. That will give us 360 degrees. We can add all these 100 plus 25 plus 45 plus 50 plus 30 plus 40 plus 70. That should give us 360 degrees. Okay, you take down, you use the information above to construct a pie chart. Please use a pencil and protractor. What I mean is, all these are angle of sectors. You construct the pie chart and use the protractor, measure 100 degrees for Crowley, 25 degrees for Fula, and so on and so forth for your pie chart. Ensure to use your pencil and protractor. You first draw the circle and you place your protractor and measure out. So with this, we've come to the end of the class. We'll stop here for today. When we meet next week, we'll continue with this pie chart. We're not done with it, but for now, we'll stop here. Please do your assignment and submit as soon as you can. See you next week.